This is a topwater crawler with a tail prop on the back, and it floats. Oh, and it's got a joint. Some serious stuff. Yeah, I marked out right there where the mount for the crawler wings are gonna go. We're gonna carve that. It's gonna be recessed. Satisfying moment, sanding to that line, making the white just barely disappear. Slapping that blade on the joint cutting jig. I got a new saw, that's an Irwin that I was just using there. I love that thing. My old one was so dull. That thing's new and sharp and just beautiful to use. Chopping that profile out. Sanding to lines once again, yada yada. Here we go, now I gotta mark out exactly where that mount's going on both sides. So you use the whole original stencil, do what I just did there to get it the same on both sides. Starting to cut it out. Marking out the gills right there so I don't chop into material I'm not supposed to chop into, and here we go. Carving the bait out. That's a funny shot. Just making a mess all over myself right there. High speed sanding is the best kind of sanding. Here we go. I don't know if you'd call this a mortise or just inlay. It's called an inlay. That's what it's called. Inlaying the wing crawler mounts. Crawler wing mounts. Said that backwards. Nice and flush. Some satisfaction came along with doing that, let me tell you. There's all the lines I need to follow for the gills. What's it? Oh, I didn't have the correct size drill bit, so I used that. This bad boy's gonna have glass eyes. Slicing lines in high speed right there. Carving to the lines. Satisfying material removal. Looking good. Drilling lead hole. It's got a wide one. What was that? Probably a 16 millimeter bit. You want that lead low, as close to the bottom of the body as possible, nice and low. So you use a wider bit and it gets it that way. I've got the urge to yell lead's hot, but this is a voiceover, so it's kind of strange. Super glue baking soda. Oh, I already said super glue and baking soda in real time in this video, so let's not be redundant. Super glue baking soda. Sanding, 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 sanding. So much sanding and lure making things flat and beautiful. Breaking this bait apart. Don't worry, this whole thing's not voiceover. I didn't talk while carving all this out and making this bait, so I decided to do a voiceover. I don't think I've ever done this before. Oh, I used a little hand manual drill right there for the screws that are holding the mounts in, the wing mounts in. Injecting pilot holes with super glue. Using my fast drill method to screw the screw in. That's just to hold that piece temporary. Look at that. Jointed crawler. There's going to be a prop on the back. I've never made a jointed crawler before. We'll see if not putting weight in the back piece was a good or bad decision. I really don't know. I'm thinking getting it up out of the water more, having it more buoyant, will help the action and get it to slap more back here and turn that prop on the back into more of a buzzbait type deal, but I could just be imagining things. We need to test it to find out. There is some crazy spalting on that piece of tupelo. Looks kind of pretty. I'm gonna paint over it though. You can almost see chip in that bubble. Starting with white. Chartreuse. To injury ochre. A really deep yellow. Now I got some old bone white, just an off-white. We're gonna pull the airbrush back a ways and kind of put this between those two colors. Made everything not so intense, but brightened it all at the same time, but the color's still there. Fired blue. I haven't even opened it. Just gonna put it in the airbrush and see what happens. I'm gonna get my micron out. That is some intense violet highlight going in the clear coat. So I carved that spot for the wing mount, and I'm gonna try really hard not to get epoxy in there. But we're doing an epoxy clear coat before a bunch of masking and artsy fartsy painting with masking fluid. It's gonna look so good. So good. Those colors are kind of throwing out frog vibes, the yellow and the green. It's going to be a very dark color over all of this, and then peeling that back off with the masking fluid. High contrast. We're going to go from diseased umber to Chip's got his bone, to vascular violet on the top. That's a good umber. It's got like this backdrop of yellow. Will complement the colors under that for sure. Dude, that is a good violet, vascular violet. It's like a candy color. It's super transparent at first. Like, I put quite a bit down there, but you can still see the sparkle through it that I put in the first clear coat. That's when I like a color. It's when it does that. Oh, that's good. That's good stuff. Look at how good that looks. There's a ton of violet on that, but it's perfectly transparent, super sparkly. Definitely the transition we were shooting for. Just this dull, purplish violet color to a natural brown that will complement that yellow beneath it, because there's kind of like yellow in the brown. Excuse me. Lovely. Okay, this is going to be simple. I think this is going to be a one color scale thing, but the colors are going to be color shift. Transparent base, getting squirted into a cup. A little bit of reducer. That was some color shift powder. Into the airbrush. It's not going to need a lot. If you're going to be shooting powders out of a bag like that with a transparent base onto your bait, they look fantastic. But you'll want to make sure you have a 0.5 millimeter nozzle on your airbrush. So Iwata HPCS with a 0.5 millimeter nozzle. If you use the 0.35 millimeter nozzle, that gets clogged, and then it's just a nightmare. And it really jams it in there instantly. Use the right nozzle, fellas. Scale reveal. Let's do this piece first. My first time using this mesh. It's called Tulle. It's like for wedding dresses, and it's a really fine mesh that actually has a nice diamond pattern to it. But this stuff's a little bigger than the stuff I was using before. That looks good. Those are nice and defined. You can only see them through the glare. Fantastic. That's what I wanted. That's it. I didn't want to cover up the masking paint job too much, but that added this like bluish, greenish, goldish flash everywhere. Look at that.
But yeah, I was gonna switch, but I was hoping that they.
foil backing on those glass eyes. Fully recessed wing mount. That looks gorgeous. Okay, just doing a dry fit. That looks like that's gonna fit good. I had to snip a smidge off the end of one of those. I fill those pilot holes up with super glue and send it home. We got a metal spacer, blade, and then like a little rivet thing that'll seat against the back of this bait. That way there's metal on either side of the blade. Got that much space in there. That's nice. It's got like a little metal cap on the end of the tail. It's kind of super glued on there. Prop on the back. Let's install the wings and this thing's ready. That joint just swings free. As for the wings, I've always just pinned them in with cottering pins. Is what they call them? Cotter, not cottering, just cotter pins. So you'll pin it in, bend the pins like that. They'll stick off the sides. I just snip off the excess. And that ends up looking pretty stinking clean. What a bait. Hopefully it does the creeper thing. Hopefully it does that. What am I doing? And the blade spins in the back. Here we go. Does it float? Yes, and it recorrects itself. Or just corrects itself. Not recorrects. Nice. Oh boy, I saw some crawling. I'm seeing crawling. Dude. I can hear that back blade prop. Like choo 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 choo. Okay, this is going to be nice to fish with. Looks like it's doing a freestyle swim. I used to teach swim lessons, and if I saw one of my students back in the day swimming a freestyle like that, I'd be proud. You can see the bend in the body. Perfect. Would not change a single thing about it. Action-wise, looks-wise. We're going to farm ponds. Well, I'm gonna start out at a pond, that really nice one. We're gonna crawl and creep this along close to the bank and stuff. Maybe we will get our 5-pounder today. Jinxed it. Oh, fish on! Oh, fish off. Whoa, that scared me. This is a hypnotizing bait to fish with. Whew. Okay. Wow, that cast's really good. Those wings fold. Man, that looks Beautiful. Oh man, I'm getting those hits. That was a small fish though. All right, these aren't easy baits to get fish to hook up on, man. 3 hits, 0 fish. Okay, I'll let that one take it. I didn't pull it out of its mouth immediately. I think it's still on. We're reeling in slowly, keeping the rod tip down. It's a little one helicoptering in. I think I hooked its entire body. What the heck? There is a hook in the mouth though. This fish is dizzy. It's official. Largemouth, like jointed topwater crawlers with props on the back. Awesome. Be free. Pressure's off. We caught a dinkaroo. Let's find the slobber nozzle. The color shift scales on this give this bait so much turquoise. You don't see it if you're not looking at it in the sun. Those really have an effect. Oh, dude, that one came out of the depths and missed. Wow, that scared me. Do it again. So yeah, hookup ratio not that good on this thing, but it's fun to fish with regardless. It is kind of disappointing missing all of these bass, but it gets the adrenaline going. Oh, wow. Good morning, rock. I need to not pull the bait, like not react when a bass hits. Just let the bait be in that fish's mouth and rely on the weight of the bait to hook the bass and send a treble hook into its meaty mouth. Why am I talking this way? We hooked it! I hooked it! Woohoo! My technique worked. It's a bit better of a fish. Just a bit. It's official again. Largemouth, like the topwater crawler, jointed and with a prop on the back. Nice loud crazy one. Be free. That bass got hooked the exact same way the first one did too, with the front treble hook in its mouth and the rear treble hook in the body. See if that happens again. Beautiful little crawling machine. Yeah, I'm 2 for like 10. I don't know if I've shown all of these hits I've been getting with this bait, but I'm like 2 for 10 right now. Pretty bad. These are owner treble hooks too. The hooks are great. Nothing wrong with these hooks. Maybe it's the prop blade on the back as well. That's probably not helping anything. It's between my legs. You guys see it? Some of the best testing action footage I've ever gotten. Looking good. Whoa! It's becoming slightly frustrating. I'm getting these kamikaze bass just diving in, just whiffing. Fish on! Didn't even reel it. This feels like it's got a bit of weight to it, but it's just not fighting. Yeah, I think that's bigger. Biggest one so far. Wow, this fish got messed up at some point in its life, but still kicking. Bigger bass, long skinny bass, like the crawler. It's official. Enjoy your freedom. Get bigger and weirder looking so I can catch you again someday. That was a pretty chill catch. Hopefully it didn't scare anything in here. But maybe that was like the king bass of the lagoon at the end there on his throne. He thought a bird just dropped out of the tree or something. I'm like 3 for 11. I'm actually keeping track with this lure. We're gonna have some statistics. Really? Finally. Hit it 3 times. It's a little one. Look at that. Front hook in the mouth again, back hook in the side. That is like how it always happens. Dinkaroo! Be free. All right, that brought it up to 4 for 11. Oh, yep. You weak hitting little turd. Open your mouths. 16 for 4. We're at 25%. That's pretty low. Maybe they're just hitting really soft today too. They're not certain about what they're doing.
Get chomped all the way along that edge over there. The hookup ratio is terrible.
Yeah. They're not hitting hard.
I mean, they're absolutely crushing it.
Well, they're just like bumping into it though. Like they're coming out of the water with it and everything. Every single hookup I've gotten, the front treble hook's in their mouth and the back one's pinned in the body. Have they slowed down for you at all?
No, they actually picked up over on that side, the windblown side.
Okay. I can go over there. They're like looking at the rocks?
Yep.
Okay. There we go. Little fella out of the rocks. Number 5. This one didn't get the rear hook in its side. Good job. Whoa, 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 whoa. 5 official. Dang it. That's 18 for 5. There we go. That's better. This is number 6 if we get it in. Just doing data on this pond, man. Just doing data. Ow. Whew. Hooking the finger a little bit, that's okay. Be free. That's on a... Oh. That was a long, hard cast. Directly on a rock. I saw the bounce. Are you okay? Maybe a bit of a scuff right there. I'm seeing 0 damage after that. Tough lure. Dang. Little dude. Dude! Eat the bait! Eat the bait! I'm still getting hits. This is 3 hits from the same fish. Got him. Finally. Took 4 tries. Probably hooked him in the butt. Oh, I got him in the mouth. It's official. We've caught 7 of these fellas. Apologies for all the slurpage in the background. I feel like I inflicted massive amounts of damage to this bait. There's a pretty good scuffaroo up there, just impacting the geology, the rocks everywhere. The owner of that pond's got like an excavation, field tiling. They do a lot of digging company. He just lined the entire perimeter of that pond with big rocks. And I cast it into so many of those rocks with this bait. I probably hit them all. And after all of that, right there is the largest amount of damage on this bait. I think it's still sealed perfectly. It's fine. Totally usable. Still looks good. Functions incredibly. This is one of the best functioning crawlers I've ever made. I haven't made a ton of crawlers. I know how to get them to work good. But yeah, seems like this one worked the best. The joint in the body does it favors. I think I prefer jointed crawlers compared to non-jointed crawlers. I'll have to try one without a prop on the back too. The data ended up being, what was it, 7? I caught 7 fish to 20. 20 was an easy number to remember. I got 20 hits, no hookups, 7 hits, hookups. 7 over 20, 35%. I think it was just yesterday they were being all soft with their lips. That was the issue. Sometimes they're like that, you know? This was a fun video. Thanks for watching. On to the next bait. You were just outside, weren't you?